Hello guys, welcome to a Creole channel where they talk about computers, IT stuffs, networking, and service. Please, if you're new to this channel, don't forget to click the subscribe button and click the notification button, like, comment, and share. So anytime we put a new video, you will get notified. So once again, welcome to this channel. This channel where they talk about anything related technology in Creole. So welcome. If you're new, like I said, don't forget to click the subscribe button and the notification button. So anytime we put new video, you go know. So now today we'll talk about network cables and connectors. So which will mean, because the last video we talk about the type of network. You understand? So in example, it means like when a mercenary talk about the kind plan. Go back and watch that video there. We mercenary talk about which kind of plan we were using, 1 bedroom, 2 rooms, and parlor. Then when the mercenary don't decide which plan we want go with for build yours, then I go for think of now which kind cement, which kind iron ore we go use for start the yours. So in this technology section, network cables and connector means we don't get the plan, which we call topologies. You know which plans, which type of network you want to use. So now we can talk about the cables then we involve. But first of all, go for understand what you mean or what they mean by cable management. So it's a cable management is used to describe the way cabling is routed. That's how you pass cable, how cable is routed, how cable is organized, support, right? He said this involves organizing your cabling and connectivity hardware in a way that makes it easy to identify components and troubleshooting problems. So what do you mean by cable management? Let's say when you do cabling, normally in IT networking, right? You get to organize your cable them in a sense like when problem happen, if we're able to tell which cable is which. For example, let us say this is not a switch, right? Now you connect all your devices. So you get one computer here. Let us say you get a server here. And let us say you get another computer here, right? So now all the cables then come here. All the cables then connect to the switch. But the problem is, if you not organize this cable, then cable they are fine. If problem happen, let us say this is not computer 1. If it gets problem, because normally in cases like this, when we do cabling, sometimes cable they go through the wall. Some you go for pass cable through the wall, under the floor, up the roof. You understand? So if one thing get problem, it don't mean say you get for go dig that cable from outside and connect them. Sometimes the internet they down floor. Then they run the cable, whether through the floor, through the wall, for go meet the other side. For example, let us say it's 2 floor in most cases, right? So the down floor now the internet connection or up. So they run the cable can down. So let us say this computer already done gets problem. You want troubleshoot. You want try for know whose side this cable run or whose port. The port mean whose side you plug this cable. Now whose port where this cable connects pan. So if you not organize your cable fine, you not go able to know because it go cause big trouble. Maybe you go say you go begin go pull the one we be say 90 pound. So it's like you they give the company or the office is downtime. Downtime mean let us say you mistake go unplug, remove that cable when at the server cable. That means say the company don't go down because nobody no be able to use the server because you don't pull the cable. You didn't know what they guessed. So that's why they tell you say you get for now you pass your cable, you get for organizer. In normal cases, you they label your cable. So like for example, this be PC1, then you for make sure say the cable where you run during the time where they install the cable, you forget labeling. If for make sure say the ports, if this port's not port 3, you for get a label what they say PC1. So you know say this connection inside here, the cable waker, now that PC1, you go forget this back label PC1. That is organizing. So that means no matter outside this PC1 computer day, when you get problem, when you can at the server room, meaning server room is where you keep all these stuffs, so you control you as IT administrator, network administrator, so you server day, you switches, then they control, so you organize for the internet, then equipment, and then you get aside. So if you go one person say another internet connection, then when you come inside this room, you go check outside which computer will this person connect to. So you don't know say the person will say you get problem at PC1. So when you come to this, first of all, you got to check PC1 because it label, it gets tag. So it's easy for check the cable for know whether or not the cable without you remove any other connected device, right? So now the driver talk say you get for organize your cable. So anytime you get problem or any machine get problem, it's easy. But if you just run your cable length without labeling, let us say now the computer in this, right? You just pass your cable length, no tracing of your cable length, and then kind of the final point now the switch. So any of them laptop there get problem or computers, it is a big problem for you to identify. So that's why we talk about cable management. It's very, very important. Also, the labeling, because when you try for pass cable, always, if this first end, now if in a down floor, this first cable for you, 1, that means, outside you go put if you know say this now 1. This second one, if na 2, you put number 2. The end for be number 2. So when you pass and through the wall, it go for down at the other side. So you know say this one and number 1 and 2 now, so you label and at this room. So if you go at the other side, all get number. So it's easy for you for plug them inside. That is a very neat way to talk about cable management, because anything will happen, you're able to troubleshoot. And you know, most of them company here, they need time efficiency to go for do something fast. Nobody guest pull this, test this, pull this. Maybe another person they can do very important work. You dey inside it, they test, they pull and guess. You understand? Then you just go remove the way the person they use when you own the work normal. But labeling at the start, that's why in normal cases, when they construct a building, there are some stage where the building they use the IT engineer or IT engineer normally, and then they do that because IT networking administrator they don't organize everything. But IT engineer now, the construction of the offices, and then they pass the cable because they want the cable and they behind the building, inside the roof, by the wall before they pave whatever things and do plastering, just like how them plumber then they do. But they don't build it inside the level, they can pass them piping. So if they can do them plastering and put board and float, so the cable and go inside and hide. So they don't run the cable. But doing to that labeling, it not go make say one computer get problem, then begin go the pull the roof back or go find the cable or dig through the walls. That you labeling is very important at starting of passing the cable. So now that's what we mean by cable management. So we talk about why is cable management important, right? One, we talk about efficiency. You say when organizing electrical or optical cable in a cabinet, a proper installation will save time and decrease issues down the line. So just like what we talk, it means electrical means the Ethernet cable. That one we'll talk about Ethernet cable, twisted pair cables. Optical means talk about if they install fiber optic cables, which can get light inside. You know, say fiber optic cable, they deal with light inside. So if you organize them well, you install them fine, it reduce time for you. You're able to identify, just like we explained, you're able to say this cable or this person will say get problem, a machine connect to this cable. So we go inside the first troubleshoot, because in any case of troubleshooting, the first thing at the cable you check if the computer connects wiredly with cable. If not wirelessly, go for ping and try for know if this computer they ping to another computer or they ping to the internet. So always in troubleshooting, first na cable we try for check whether you get connectivity, they reach the other computers within around the community, right? So that's why they say the very important thing of cable, the efficiency. Because if you do it right, it reduce time for you. They say the cable installation project varies, but for the most part, you could see how difficult it's, because it become properly suited each cable to make it easy to work with. Like the steel thing where they say, it means when you set them properly, like you say cable 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you descent, you put her in order. You make sure, say for example, port 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then you put a match with the cable in. When you organize them properly, it will be easy for you, right? Then we talk about power consumption. You say power consumption is also great. It's already a great concern in data closets. Cables, patch cables installing messy on organized manner lead to heat buildup. So in this case again, the try to talk about when you don't pass the cable, you might not label the cable, right? But if you not organize and let you make sure say the cabling gets space for breathe, because you know say all them cable as long as they get current, or also the devices them, because then devices they are normally they get heat because at 24 they run. So the heat of them, then you feel say you just do the cabling, you bunch them one side, that heat they slow the network. You understand? It is slow the network and it cause heat. But if that heat they continue for build up in that cable, you might get waiting like fire mosquito inside it. So what you driver talk, even when you don't label the cable and find you able to trace them. Then when you can plug in at the switch or the router, make sure say then get the spacious in a sense like breeze they blow through the cables, not to like you bunch them one side and choke. And when they close to the heat, now the try to tell you power consumption. And one thing by electronics, the more heat stored in any electronics, the more current that thing said they burn. You understand? But if free, that's why you see in any server rooms, they normally they na cool, na place with cooling, get AC inside, the AC they run full time because their machine in the need for one 24-hour non-stop, and the machine in them very noisy, the heat what then they produce. That's why you want to make your cable them spacious, you know, go bunch them one side, organize them first, label them the way they come. If this device, for example, if you get 5 cable, when for computer, organize them fine, put them, give them space, separate the one for server, routers, then organize them fine, right? Let's go to the next slide. So you talk about safety. You say safety is always a priority and proper cable installation is no difference. So the National Electrical Code require 3 feet of clearance around electrical device. So you see the distance, let us say the circuit box for electrician there, beside in the connect all thing, beside they put on, off, beside the fuse, the meter there, according to the electrical code. Also, before you install your cabinet, your rack, also get for put the things then. If that room they get anything on an electrical box or electrical circuit box for electricians, it's now outside you go put outside the meter the side they put on and off the lights, you understand, then switch them outside and the. If you want to install any rack cabinets means the side we get for the pack the switch. Say the pack them. You forget 3 feet distance from that box there. That not the safety code for the electrician and can testify that. You understand? Then it's a properly installed cable also can be tripping hazard. This is not only leads to injury but often cause damage to a cable or associated equipment. Now like what we talk leads to downtime. You understand? You see, the downtime meaning say too much heat, it will cause problem for the equipment, it will cause damage to the cable. Because when you can't close, because that electric they instead get what they call EMI, electromagnetic interference. You understand? And as well as then cable and we go for pass. So if you get 3 feet away from that electric box there. And thirdly, we talk about the uses like diagnosis. You understand? We said it before, and we will say it again. Identify a network problem is a sea of cables. It's very difficult, even for an experienced technician. Throw on mark, loose, organized cables is a sure way to guarantee a costly service ticket. Correct cable management from the beginning can make life easier to installer and clients alike. So diagnosis means for like what we talk for able to identify your problem. When you label them properly, you organize them properly, it's easy. For check the cable, which machine will get problem, whether or not the ports from the switch or whatever the machine they connect. It's easy. It is save downtime. Downtime means the person how many minutes he need for wait before he gets back. For example, now you go to bank, this one cashier, they get internet, the one they get all the customer they don't pack para. So how many minutes that other one way your computer know the work get for take before your computer begin work. So for reduce the pressure from the other one, I mean by downtime. When the computer they done, they work till when it come up. But when you organize your cable and fine, when you organize them fine, label them fine, make them spacious, it's easy for that. So if somebody get problem now, within 5 to 10 minutes, you don't fix the problem. You don't identify, okay, the cable not the ping. You understand? If you never change the cable, change the ports or whatever things, the NIC, which is network interface card, whatever thing you will change and quick, then the person will get back, the PC start for work, then continue your job. But in most cases, say organize your cable and fine, get labeling, it go cost the business or the company you work for. You got everything you got for guests. If you, like I said before, if not up the ceilings on a pass cable, you got for go up you can go look for them. Also, you pass them. If not through the walls, if you not take that, you go begin to go to the wall for identify. So it's easy for diagnose the problem if you organize. It will be very easy. And lastly, airflow. We talk about airflow. What we talk about? When you need to do them, you got to make it fresh small. So breeze they will pass because them machine there, now machine one, they're noisy. Two, then they produce heat when they run. Because the more load they get, the more heat they come out of them. Like I tell you before, say, I make most outside than they keep renting and outside cold. Whether they get AC, like the office for me though, now 2 AC there inside. You understand? Very big one. So the one I stand by, the one they work. So immediately the one shut down, the other one they kick up because it need for run. Because if not to that, the heat of them machine and it go consume current like we talked before, go cause damage to the cable leg, go make the internet slow. So always you get to make your cable and free. So if the heat the flow, it come on at the machine, it go able to pass through the cable and out, then that heat the AC go able to dilute them, the room they in normal temperature. You understand? You see why schooling has already been mentioned. It is of such importance that it should be mentioned again. An important aspect of networking functionality and longevity is the proper flow of here doing and after installation. You see, like what I just explained, you need to make your cable and free because that environment are heat environment. The routers, the switches, the server, whatever things the company might install in that room, all they produce noise, heat. So you need them cable in there for free, to be free, understand? So we move to the next slide. Now, okay, now here a clear example of what we talk. So imagine say you see this poor section. So imagine say your network be like this one. Imagine say your network be like this one. Then you tell me that one of the computer get problem. And let us say na a bank, customer them boku, na only 2 cashier on a get. Then the one cashier and computer get problem. Now the first step of troubleshooting is like the cable, the connection. You ping from that machine, the ping to the server, the ping to the switch, the ping to the other machine. Now you have to check the cable first. So you tell me in this scenario, in this poor connection, how many hours you want to take you for figure out which cable connect to this. So you got to take you time for sort then cable there, so we tangle, so right? So it take you time. Whilst the customer then at the bank, then bokuna one person in computer they work. So it means the downtime it go long because you need for figure out, maybe it will take you a day or two for figure which cable you they look for. Even though now it's much easier because there are some cable tester there when they use, it just time, the downtime is too much. The downtime is too much. So the downtime is very, very too much. So if you, in these cases, so you tell me now, are you able to figure out this thing? Why people and they wait na line and na two computer, the one not the work now, the other one they work. So till you figure it out, you don't pass time for close, then you go did it take too much. So now select this one in a good way. You see how this is well organized. So this is where we talk about airflow. If you see the one on the switch. Let me change, make a change the pen in color. Now again yellow. So if you see the switches, you see space. You see space. You see they separate them. So you find out say heat the flow well. You see this bundle in this side now for one set of devices. Then split them this other side is another set of devices. So you find out say there is a free space. So even the heat they come out of this place, it flow well. See the second one, then keep everything here. You see blue. Sometimes it's easy back if you do color coding. So if you get different type of cables, then for make it easy for you, able no say then blue cable here and then connect to this machine, but also then get label. So if you see this one up, you see the labeling. You see this white thing and labeling are the numbers then of each cable for the switch. Even if you see the cable himself, you see the white cable, the white wrap now the cable length. The white wrap they are so. Now the labeling what they talk about. And it's very spacious, you see? You see how they say time? So whatever heat they come, it flow around, then the AC or the cooling system inside they attend to that. If even this same one, you see, color coding. So it's always back another way for make it easy for you. Say this blue, they go for some computers to this and that, whatever things you choose. Depending if the person they work for, we able to buy different type of color cables, then you understand. Because in most cases, person will able to buy one or two cartoon, depending the length where you cover. You understand? So not all company will able to buy different type of color cables and by cartoon, you understand? Due to the management. But just for see an example, this is well organized. It's free, heat the flow. So whatever problems happen, the downtime not go too much. It's easy for you for come and look that machine the number where it connect to, the port where it connect to Nado, then you kind side, you check the labelings there. You check the labelings there also. Then you figure out, so okay, that machine and I connect. Quick, you look and you check them, then it's easy. The downtime will be small. But think of it now, how many hours or minutes you want to take to figure out this thing. Twice people in the way. So now we talk about cable management, which is very, very important. So it's the same in the construction field. How you align you iron ore, whatever things, for build you pillars then, for make your road. You understand? Easy way for construction, right? So this is why we need a cable management, a very, very important. Know how to label your cable. Then when you reach for install them at the switch, try for be very professional, make it very free, nege air. So it go flow, the heat go flow around, then the cooling system will maintain that. So that's why cable management is very important. So now we talk about the cable, the network cable type. Now we get, they say to connect two or more computers or networking device in a network. Network cables are used mainly. There are three types of Ethernet cable used in LANs. You understand? We talk about LANs. Go and check that video there. Type of topologies. You understand? LANs means local area network, right? So now 3 type of cable they talk say mostly what they use. One, you talk about, now change the pen color. One, we talk about coaxial cable. We talk about twisted pair cables, which is the Ethernet cable. Also, the other name is for Ethernet cable, right? Then lastly, we talk about fiber optic cables. So this type of cables, now we use this type of cables, but mostly, in most cases, this coaxial cable now, we know they use and so now. Normally, this one is used mostly for TVs, you understand, old CCTV cameras, you understand. Mostly 90s then they use for now. So in the networking section now, because technology done more advanced, we know they use this one normally. You understand? If you see below, this is the example. I believe say most of people then go remember this one, and mostly for television, old CCTV camera, satellite dish, then they use it. So in most cases, we not get any device now, because all this now for old device now, mostly we not the user now, because technology don't advance. Now, for twisted pair cables, which is the Ethernet cable, we get these ones. We get normally this one we use them for connect computer to the network, the switches, routers, you understand, servers, you understand. Mostly they use this one mostly for connect all the thing there also. So normally then they in different type also, but we go talk about that. The fiber optic now, normally fiber optic we use fiber optic also, but fiber optic normally it's used for transport the internet connection normally. In which sense what they say the normal way we use fiber optic, like then they use a normal in there for distribute internet. So for example, if this now your ISP, which is the internet service provider, right? For send the internet connection at the offices, then we use fiber optic. If we don't get internet in the office, right? If we want to extend the internet back to another region, when you use fiber optic, it's more fast. In most cases, in a real sonomole, you connect one device to another, which is it happen for uplink. Maybe you want uplink, you switch to your router, right? You use them depending if those devices get connection for fiber optic connection. But in normal cases, then they use them for nine they go with, like for example, nine a messenger for transport internet, because nine reliable much faster. You understand? So like when they can't deposit internet facility in the company, fiber optic cable nine they use because it's very fast. When the internet don't come now, they can convert now from fiber optic to RJ45 Ethernet cables to the devices them. So for devices, normally we use the twisted pair cables from the computer to the switch to the computer. You understand? Routers, servers, all these one we use them twisted pair cable, what also they call the Ethernet cable. But fiber optic normally in they call the internet inside. In any they say internet for distributing and they use normally. But some cases they use them back for uplink devices, right? So like we talk about, the first one is coaxial cable. Coaxial cable is used to carry high frequency electrical signal with low loss, you understand? This one, like I say, high frequency, when they carry them, it hardly let the package drop. But now we know to use this cable. We know to use this cable now, because this cable now mostly meant for televisions, satellite dish, old CCTV cameras. So now we know to use this one right now. So for that coaxial cable, these are the connectors then. I know say most of now we don't see them connectors there. When you want this one for your satellite dish or for your television, you must use the male or the female. You understand? In most cases, now this one day with the come out up from the dish to the television. In most cases, but back then, when we use them, way in technology, then they use them for normally bus topologies. Like these are the connectors when they use normally, the T connectors. But like I say now, it's outdated normally now. They're not the two user now. But in most cases, if you get some topologies, there are some settings where most offices get when they want to connect to the new one, and then still they work in that setting. The people and still they use them. But now for most advanced small offices, them big, them factories, them medium-sized businesses, no, they're not use anything like this because it's worn out. So these are the connectors where they use normally with that cable thing, that coaxial cable. So for twisted pair cables, normally we get two type of twisted pair cables. We get the other one where we call UTP, which is unshielded because this is the normal one. This is the UTP cable. This one, you understand? Then we get the other one with a STP. So this is unshielded twisted pair cables, which is this one. Meaning say this one not get no coat. You not get no coat in a sense. They not wrap out any shiny foil. That's why he said untwisted pair cables. You understand? Normally this one is made for in a normal environment, like inside office, beside not too much electrical things, boku. You understand? But we can see the next picture. This unshielded twisted pair cable, we use it normally in situation like offices where too much electrical cable not there. You understand? Then small offices, then this in general and anything they use. And we get different type of cables there. Old type, we get what we call Cat 5, Cat 5E. Now we get 6, we get 6E, we get 7, 7E, we get still 8, all depending by the speeds. Because now, in the lowest you can use is 5E. But now, people are using from 6 for higher speed, for outdoors connections, you use 6 to the higher level 8. You understand? Because this now the unshielded pair, meaning say you don't get protection. You not go for go use them. For example, if you want to install in a factory, you want to put a network in a factory warehouse, you not go use it because the factory gets too much electrical connection inside. Then the EMI, which is the electromagnetic interference of those electronics things, then they make the network slow because it would affect the cable because the current cable and say then get their own heat when they produce, then get that kind magnetic things what they do when they produce. So you're not going to use this UTP cable, which is on shielded twisted pair cables, right? You know they use this one factory warehouse. Inside they get heavy electrical installation, you know they do them, right? So this one is normally for in normal offices where those get lights and those install lights, air condition, not too much electrical cable, then pass. Then now they use this twisted pair cable. But we can also call a UTP cable on shielded twisted pair cables. Now you see the type of cable and now how they try to tell you. You say shielded pair, which is STP cable. It means it get protection. So if you see this one, you see it gets a copper protection. In most cases of these ones, we use them in a factory warehouse, whose heavy electric device. They know in factory, the more certain factory warehouse, and then they install the machine, then the cable, then the current trigger for kind side. So all them things then it go slow the network. So if na then section in the one go install, now this type of cable they use, STP, shielded twisted pair cable, because this copper we they see, it protect any EMI, electromagnetic interference, from that electric things and for can slow the network. So when you reach to the cable, or if the cable in the near, this shield the protector. So meaning the cable is supply the actual speed where it's supposed to supply, and not go able slow the speed of the cable, right? So imagine saying that this one. So if the EMI come towards this, there is no protection. It can direct to the cables then. So it is slow the internet. So that's why in most cases we know they use this one. We know they use this one in factory region. We say heavy electrical equipment there. You understand? So we they use normally the STP, the shielded twisted pair cable. For this one, you see this one get protection. This second one, you see the shiny protection. This third one, then to get silver protection also, because that's now the places and then the way we they use them for electric cable for label protect those things, right? Now, like I said before, this one we now the unshielded twisted pair cable, which is the UTP cable. This is for normal situation for indoors. You understand? Offices, house, you understand? Hotel, because then just get television, AC. It's just a common home appliances then. They not get that kind of heavy. If you find out, see the generator room everybody far from the building. But assume say you want to install this internet facility by outside the control room, the generator room there, and then they connect everything. You get for use the shielded pair, the shielded twisted pair, because electric things they need to be very heavy. The generator, and then go for supply, whatever big equipment we then go for power on. But for this unshielded twisted pair cable, we only use them for a normal places, like we get normal house appliances, AC, television, whatever thing, because it's okay. Because then things then they know they produce, which we call EMI, electromagnetic interference, towards the cable. So the network will flow freely inside the cable, supply the exact bandwidth or the exact speedway the cable is supposed to produce. But if you take this, can put in an environment when them shielded pair for the network go slow, because the EMI they disturb too much from the electric. You understand? So these are the two type of cable that we'll get for the twisted pair or the Ethernet cable. Now this one. So and also most of now we don't see this now. Most offices then behind the computer. But this number, in most cases, it's rare for see planes. So because now factory places, and not everybody they go to factory so no more. But offices, house, hotel, now this normally we they use, because that one is accessible to the public. Almost 90% of people they go, then get also then they want this thing, the offices, the hotels. So factories now few people in. You understand? So that's why people are not able to see this type. But just for you again, the type of twisted pair we get is two: STP, which is shielded twisted pair cable, and we get UTP, unshielded twisted pair cable. So this STP mostly now for factory region. This is a normal cable for any household, right? Now, this is not the speed for this is not the speed. They say the categories of unshielded twisted pair cables. This is not for the speed, because of the normal one who they use. You see for telephone line, you understand? They use the categories when I try to explain, because then cable I get category. If not telephone line you want to use normally, you go for category 1. You understand? Then the speed of that is 1.5 megahertz. You understand? The bandwidth, which is the range where you go supplying the speed now 1 megabits per second. Then if you go for a transmission line in normal the way at the telecommunication and the user for gig internet, then you use category 2. And this category 2, the bandwidth of an 4 megahertz, and the speed also 4 megabits per second. So if you start now by the one way you want to use inside, we start like in most cases, if the network where you want, like now 10 base T Ethernet, you understand? You go for Cat 3. So it depends on the speed, but in most cases, it starts from 5. If in indoors where you just start, even though some of this now not too stable anyway, but it just depends the kind of speed. For example, now you get for observe. Okay, like the example in the construction section. Before any person with the billows make a floating in a house, you get to understand which type of thing they got for the do up. They go make that kind. For example, okay, let's say use banking. The banking what they use now a flat land, we not get water. It different from a banking way messing that they go do for bank water for kind side. Because you know say the force of the water get for heat that wall day. So what they do, you know say you need very different type of iron ore, you need the different type of cement, and you need different type of stone what they go do for block that water day for laying kind of the building. So it different like normal fence what they do. So in this case, like it depends the kind of speed. Like if the company and a company would deal with lots of documents, transfer, upload, download, you check the speed way for give them. But in normal circumstances for browse, easy, you go for Cat 5. Cat 5, it's 100 megahertz. The speed is 100 megabits per second. You understand? So if you go to Cat 5 again, because it's two type of Cat 5, you get the second one, which is the gigabit. So it's two type. Either you go with the first one. If you see now, so this one, the usage, if the network where you try for setup, now 100 base Ethernet, Cat 5 can work for that. But if the network, the kind speed of uploading and downloading and transferring things, you speed where you target now 1 gigabit per second, so fast, you can still go with Cat 5. You understand? Now, if the speed again of waiting the business they do, you want much speed, you will go for, if now this one, 10 gigabit per second, depending what the business they do, you will go for Cat 5e or Cat 6 cable. You understand? So if you see, now Cat 6 cable, they go with 10 gigabit per second. Now, Cat 7 also, they goes 10 gigabit per second. But the difference is the bandwidth. The bandwidth, way then they take, the bandwidth is different. So you see, even though the speed not the same, but the bandwidth not the difference. Cat 6 stop at 250 megahertz. Now Cat 7 stop at 600 megahertz. So this is not the type of the unshielded twisted pair cable that in the normal cable we'll talk about where you use in offices, houses, hotel, depending the speed. Because this also you get to understand the post way they do installation for, which then they do. If in a normal situation, just for them for they use the internet, does they check the email, send messages, now that know what then they do, then you can go with 5E or 6, which is okay. You understand? Or 5, Cat 5 to Cat 5E. Because now that's a normal situation for those browse. But if you be say that business they deal with a lot of upload and download, sending too much things from the internet, downloading, then get cloud server with an host, then get server with an host, now then building. You go for find a much cable will give them that kind of speed very fast. Either you go to Cat 6 or Cat 5E or Cat 7. So these are the category. Category mean the type of cable. Just like in the industry of the construction side, the type of iron ore. The masoners though they below understand what are they saying. Every iron ore gets in reason. The one within they use for banking water is different from the number one what they do for retain wall, normal wall. It's different from the one what they use for float. So it just depends the situation or what you are achieve. Now you choose the cable there. So they are very important. But before you choose cable also, you dey ask the person what they do. The business way they do. Now a lot of upload, download, now they deal with the internet too much, now they download from una cloud server, now they upload or people and they download from una server or una host inside the business. You get to understand that because some business and they get server, we it be say then get workers who they do remote job and go for the send documents to that server, they then go for the download, upload. So for get fast internet, you get for accident. So you able to choose the type of cable what you need, depending the speed for lady they then do the work, you understand? Now if you sit down the last one, most of the one who they do data center, then they use this cable now. You see like Cat E. Because in this case, you see the speed from 25 gigabits per second to 40 gigabits per second. Because this they deal with, imagine the whole world, then go for Google for search or download something. Imagine how many millions or thousands of people and they use Google at the same time. You the action that for football, and the action that for fashion. At the same time, everybody need information from Google. So it needs something fast where you supply everybody. So in that case, is that the cable wouldn't they use? Or maybe like Netflix. So many people around the world who they watch film. You there that they watch your movie in your own continent or your own country. Me say there that they watch. So they need something where they able to supply people at the same time. That's why you go there in your own country or whatever region you dey. You dey watch Netflix, the other person they watch Netflix. Everybody on perfect because there is a cable where they supply everybody at the same time. The speed is there, right? So categories of unshielded twisted pair cable, because it's not the normal one wouldn't they use inside, right? Like I say, the STP cable normally now for factories, it's like too much electrical situation there. So they use this in a cases like it's a normal environment. Now they make them put this calculation, right? So now we talk about fiber optic cable. You say fiber optic cables use optical fiber, which are made of glass cores surrounded by several layers of cover. So optical glass, they try to talk this white thing there. This is not optical glass. So they deal with light more. So that's why I say talk about the fiber optic cables are used optical fibers. This is the optical fibers are made of glass core. This one a glass. Very light thing, something like, you understand, which is made of glass core surrounded by several layers covering material generally with the PVC. The PVC means this one, then plastic they will cover them, right? So it transmits data in the form of light signals, due to which there are no interference issues in fiber optic. Fiber optics can transmit signal over a very long distance. So if you remember what I talked before, we have the trifotile body type. In most cases, 90%, fiber optic, then they use them for sending internet, in a messenger for internet. That's what they use them for. Because in the cover long range, they use light. Because this is not very fiberglass. So the more the light penetrates, the more the speed go. You understand? So in anything internet, as you see here, you say there are no interference issues. This one, where you see so interference not the like the EMI of electric cable not the affector, which is the electromagnetic force. Because for example, now if you take pen, right? Take pen, cut one small paper, put on our table. Take pen, rub on your ear, rub on your ear. Then count that pen, then pull on your ear, put on that small paper. You find out say the paper they fasten for that pen we rub. Then they call electromagnetic interference. The same thing cable they produce that. So when the heat they produce that, if that normal twisted pair cable they talk about, it get affected by that. But this one, even in pass and near outside, na industry side, outside electric things and boku, the electromagnetic interference no they disturb them. It is supply because it is made of optical fiber. if you know optical fiber, you know, like for example, what in the billboards, then get that fiber thing what in they use for make it strong. That fiber glass, what in the cut. Then put I don't know how in the color, and get something what in they put the mix, what they can use for billboards. So you know they disturbed by the electrical magnetic interference. And you go large rate, for example, the one that wouldn't pass through continent, right? Now inside water then pass the cable. The internet will connect to Africa. So now this fiber optic, the big one then pass middle the sea. Imagine how the sea will pass there, it can connect. We don't know whether the main source in America is in Europe is. So imagine that cable and pass inside water. They kind of have terrible things within our water. You know they get affected. Even the main Europe country, the America, the fiber optic cable na inside water pass. So you know they get disturbed by the electric magnetic interference, and it very fast. Now light in the use. You understand? But for the normal cable, in a signal they use. You understand? So the moment something that would stop that signal, you know they get full potential for letting each side they go. Let us say na the UTP cable, unshielded twisted pair cable, then it gets affected by the electric magnetic interference. The speed they slow because that small magnetic things when they penetrate towards them, it is near that electric cable. It is slow the thing down. It is slow the thing down. So that's why you see they come with the second type, which is shielded twisted pair cable. So okay, let's make this type. If one install in any worst scenario, this cable for pass near to say electric cable and boku, to say electrician and don't do the connection, we say for can pass through the now this type for do. So it will protect your cable, it will protect the signal inside this cable. So for fiber optic, not the disturber. We see they don't pass and they don't pass and whether it is any side. So that's why I say in most cases 90% now for transport internet, whether now from one country to another, from one state, city to another. Even the car with the fiber optic connection can inside your office. Now, the connection are for internet. So in most cases, maybe 10% will do uplink. You understand? Uplink mean maybe the company gets another router or switches where you don't buy. So you want to take that fiber optic connection for extend and to do a new switch then so you get what they call STF. So we get the connector, you put in RJ45, put the fiber optic connection inside. So you do an uplink. Now I mean uplink. That's for take one internet connection from one switch or from one router to another device. So in that case, it's mostly then they use fiber optic. But in here, for say they use fiber optic connect them from the switch. Then connect them from the switch. Let us say this is not the switch, right? Another PC then also. And then connect fiber optic from the switch to computer, from the switch to a server, a rear. You understand? So in most cases, like I said, fiber optic, we use them for send internet, for distribute internet, for mainly. You understand? In most cases. So in few cases, not just we do an uplink. So now you talk about the type of fiber optic. Like you get a single mode. Single mode, the thickness of the thickness of this thing with the inside the string, you understand? Then a 9 diameter, that white thing on the inside. But for single mode, normally this one now one string the inside. This is not single mode. This one normally now the main connector for distribute. You understand? So you say now the type of fiber optic cables. One we get the single mode. They say it is used for a single ray of light to transmit data, and it is used for a long distance transmission, right? So it means like for a long distance, let us say a long distance, if the one transmits internet long distance, now this single mode fiber they use the cable. The one will get the one string inside. So if you go back and see this one, you see this one, this is na multi-mode fiber, this one. You understand? This one is just like a bunch of cables for transmit data from different things. If you see this one at the single, so in a case like for long distance, would they use this single fiber? It's not single because it's only one string of this one in the inside. So if they go far, this is not multi-fiber. This, you see the string, anything there, so right? So let's go back, say this one, which is single. It said it is used one single ray of light. And now one light, that white thing inside, where the light penetrate inside, it is send data for very long distance, right? So if you see a multi-mode fiber, it said it is used multiple light ray to transmit data. It is comparatively less expensive. So if I now say this one when a multi, it's cheap. But this single mode fiber is very, very expensive because the multi not they go that long, like how the single fiber they go that long. You understand? I hope you follow. So now, this is not the connection in this. This one, normally we use them for do transmission. It's not the short one, this the shortest type then, or you get the single mode. You understand? That means like if you want uplink or you want extend internet, you understand? If you want extend internet, or want uplink, you go use the single mode because it's much better than this multi-fiber mode. You understand? So that is the type of fiber optic cables. Then let's see the connectors. These are the different type of connector depending the situation where you're there, right? So it depends the device it come with. So we get what we call the straight tip. Because normally we use this one. We use the straight tip connector, which is this one. The straight tip connector in normal cases. Then we use the LC, the lucent connector, in normal cases. But these remaining ones, it gets used by the internet service providers. But you as a network engineer, because it is in different form, you get network engineers that we responsible, they work for ISP. They want in for distribute internet facility. You understand? The other network engineer, then outside the service provider stop, now they you take. For like for example, the service provider account now use Segatel. Segatel can put internet now use. Then people and they wake out the internet. Then the own network engineer, the only responsible something related to internet facility, responsible for the device configuration, make sure that the connection can reach and use. Then the different set of network engineer now, that internet then can drop na use. Now you they continue they now make sure so you distribute the internet inside the person house, inside the person office, inside the person in university, campus, hotel. So you say go for those kind of devices where you go for buy for distribute this internet. So then devices and then might come with different connection, right? For example, some go count with RJ45, RJ11, some go count USB, USB-C. So some of these connectors here, now then they use them mostly, depending the device then wouldn't they install for count to you. Sometimes they get you get for use converter from LCSCP to RJ45. So it depends. But these are the connectors what then they use. You understand? But in most cases for you, the inside or indoor, let's make and say indoor network engineer, we mostly use the LC and the STP because it's like female and male, which is just the plug. Because we then can terminate them point, you they do uplink like put them outside if it's internet day, extend them to say while they go. That's na your own part normally. So this one, just like I tell you, say the fiber optic normally in 90% would they use them for supply internet, for move internet around. So it means specifically now the one they would work for internet service provider, they deal with that one they normally. So it means these connectors are depending the device wouldn't they use. But you inside will use this mostly for do an uplink. That means for extend the connection inside. You understand? So we get the ST, which is straight tip connector. We get FC, which is fiber channel connector. We get AC, subscriber connector. We get LC, which is the lucent connector. We get MTP, multi-fiber termination push-on connector. Then you get MPO, multi-fiber push-on connector, right? So this is mostly by them. But we were the indoors, like we now they don't count the internet I use. And I'm using the channel for making sure all the internet and the flow in all of your devices, then connect the all. So me say go for those kind of device where I go buy, those kind of connector I need. So in these most cases, these other connectors, we know they deal with them too much because it's meant for people who they work for internet service providers, right? So now, in conclusion, we say Ethernet cables are used to connect devices to the network, allowing them to communicate with each other and access the internet. These cables come in different types, each designed to support various speeds, performance level. They are essential for both home and office network, ensuring stable and reliable connection. So it's like now it will be time for talk. Just a recap for tell you say the Ethernet cable we'll talk about, which is the UTP or the STP cable. This is unshielded twisted pair cable. This is shielded twisted pair cable. So he said it is used, you see, to connect devices to the network, allowing them to communicate, connect on the network, make sure so they talk. You understand? Then get access to internet. You understand? Let me pull this one. So let's go again. Say, in conclusion, we talk about the Ethernet cable, or the two type is STP, which is the STP is shielded twisted pair cable. That one I say normally that they use them na factory side or outside. If it's outside you want pass your cable and too much electric cable, like if you want pass your cable at the roof, but too much electric connection cable, they use the STP shielded twisted pair cable. Now this one, then if na normal side way too much electric cable not pass they use the UTP cable on shielded twisted pair cable. So in a recap, now then they will call the Ethernet cable as well. So he said this then cable layer. So normally in there for number one for connecting device na the network, then allow them device that make them communicate, and also then device that make them get internet access, right? You say then we took say the cable and then get different type. It design get ion support and speed and performance when you want. Just like we talk about the category, it depends what you want to do. If in a telephone line you want to do, mostly for the telecommunication, they don't do the open telecommunication, then get Cat 1, I mean they use. You, when a network engineer, the network you want build for the person, like I explained before, try for no waiting and they deal with more. If in an office where you busy, then just stay for browse, check the internet, does they send mail, check mails, that's it. You understand? But in most cases, like for example, for bank they deal with softwares and applications, because they go for the people in the use software for check the person in accounts or whatever thing. Then when they open account, they go for use for upload those documents. Then we go open account and take your ID, your passport picture, your document, then go for you. So in that case of a bank, every day you must go there to go pull money, go there to go open account. So it means that the bank go for the upload documents, then they go for the download document for register, everything. So it means that you go for give them sufficient speed. Whether cashier they go able to open the account quick, you know, go see for upload one document, they go take on some time before the document upload, or maybe you go say you want fill one form, the cashier say will not download the form, like put in a signer, then you begin wait, it will take time for let download. So the cable and different. You have to understand first which in this office they deal with, which in they deal with more. So like the bank, you have to find cable like Cat 5, Cat 5E, depending the speed, how fast you want let the office they. You understand? Now they try for talk. So you say designed to support various speeds and performance level. Then also are essential for both homes, like we talk, because it's homes, offices, networks, right? For be stable and reliable connections. And then cable are there for, right? So the cable again, like I said, the recap, it's just a recap, right? So the Ethernet cable now this in there for the Ethernet cable. Like we talk about the Ethernet cable once more, you see we get the UTP, then we get the STP. So UTP is unshielded twisted pair cable, which is used for a normal, right? We talk about that for hosts, offices, hotels, everywhere, right? Then if you want to use STP, any way electric things then boku, electric cables then, you say electrician then don't pass boku, electric cable then, connectors, circuit box, all them things then they say now electric cable of electrician they use the STP, right? Then two type of cable are the useful then they for it allow you for connect to the network and you make it computer. For example now, that small Wi-Fi we again I use. If we use then cable, I'll connect them DN, we connect them to a laptop. They use that cable, you connect them to your television. That don't make them communicate, right? Then it's always say if they give the internet, that cable we connect behind that Wi-Fi they make you smart TV get internet. They make your laptop get internet. Then you always say this cable here, then get different type, different design, where they support different speed. Depending for which you want. It depending for which you want and for. Just like I explained again, first of all, we want build a network for person, interview the person. First of all, you go for ask outside this device today, outside one let this, outside this for day, then go tell you say this the printer, one let the under, one let two computer there, one let three computer there, one computer there at the manager in office. Then go for tell you what how for structure. The way you don't get done, they ask them, this office is all they do. When I go for deal with a lot of downloading documents, uploading documents, waiting mail when I go for do honor for just now office number when does they receive email, reply email on a graphic designs, just for when I get access to the internet. Then with the information they already give you, they can now and pick the kind of cable where they give them, right? And this is the tell. So for fiber optic cables, I tell you, see, mainly are the one who they deal with the internet service provider normally, mainly. And normally 90% fiber optic cable they deal with where it can't for distribute internet for a long range, for the long range distribution of internet, they use the single mode. You understand? For large, just a medium size, they use the multi mode. Now, these are the connectors that we'll talk about, right? So these are the type of cables and connector. So I hope I explained everything well, but if you get any question, not afraid for write your question at the description below, the comments down below, and also not forget for click the subscribe button, click the notification bell for any time we put new video, then you go know. And if you get any course where you want to learn, where you want to know about, drop your question in the comment section, right? So once again, thank you, welcome to this channel. This channel I create channel where we teach about computer, IT, networking, anything related computer stuffs. I write channel this for the teaching career. So if you anything, so you get any question, feel free for ask, write in the description, the comments section down, and please once again click the subscribe button, click the notification bell. Don't forget for like, share, and comment. Thank you very much. See you on the next class.